Welcome, everybody, to our 41st, 42nd game? 41st. We're up to 41. This is pretty good. As far as TV is concerned, I think we've gone through 2 or 3 seasons of regular television, so welcome, everybody. Let's recap what happened last week, and also publicly giving kudos to Eli for playing a pretty damn good Estrella. Like, I didn't say that last week when we played, but he did a good job. He didn't do anything crazy or goofy. I thought he channeled your character pretty well, Emily. So, yeah, it was cool. But last week we basically finished all of our sub adventures between the dragons and the dwarves. On the dragon side, you had learned quite a lot from your talk with Thaunis's son, a kid who goes by the full name of Mordukavar, or Mordu for short. They call me Mordu. Mordukavar is a snot-nosed, arrogant teenage brat, but he's thousands of years old, so a teenager in relative terms, if you will. He can't stand either of his parents because he's got abandonment issues. But he is the product of a union between Thaunis and Tiamat. And Tiamat is the goddess of creation and chaos. She is the reason why Faerun exists. She is that level deity, if you will. So this son's a big dog. He's got a lot of untapped potential. And Estrella, Keledri, and Grim did manage to form a friendship with him. A loose one. He doesn't seem like any kind of guy who really gets attached to people. But there is some trust built between the party and Mordukavar. And he actually extended himself, saying, if you need me, just call out. I'll show up, kind of a thing. So he is someone to keep in mind in your back pocket, if you will. He's looking to cause a little chaos and to help you guys out. One thing that he did sort of reveal, just a catch, he wanted to know how you all knew Thaunis. He lets you know, of course, as you all already do know, there have been many champions, but what you didn't know is that these champions have been happening for thousands of years, not just a few generations or just the past 3 groups, thousands of years of champions that Thaunis has been working with. And Mordu, his ultimate goal that he revealed is that he wants to take his father's position. He wants to be a high-level deity. He thinks he can do a better job at running things than dear old daddy. And that's where he's kind of coming from with everything. On the dwarven side, we had learned that the Crow Lord, the Master of Arms, and Princess Astoria are madly in love and starting a coup. Now, the Crow Lord and Astoria don't want to kill King Fafnir unless there's no other choice. He's being driven mad by the Arkenstone. And the Crow Lord believes that the only way to deal with him is through death. And Princess Astoria doesn't want her father to die. And during the conversations, Kieran assured her that there could be an other way, that there's something that he knows of dealing with these soul stones that might be able to save the king. And so she has put her trust completely in the party's hands for saving her father. And the Crow Lord is also very trusting of the group. He's just a little quicker to kill if the need arises. Whereas King Fafnir, on the other hand, is slowly being driven mad by the creature that lives inside the Arkenstone, which Kieran did touch briefly. And also, way back when, The first time you all fell asleep in Burke in the Burke Longhouse, Grim, you also touched the soul inside the Arkenstone. That was the shadowy dragon-like figure you saw above the throne of the Dwarven Kingdom. Same creature. So just kind of reminding you all of the things you've seen and touched in the past.
We touch a lot of things.
You all poking in places. And so the two set off and journeyed for the world tree, reaching the edge of the world and having to figure out how do we cross basically a 500-yard radius with all of these long boats and ships carrying the two armies of the Dragon Queen and King Fafnir of the Dwarves. Well, rather than taking the easy way and turning your sails and catching the updraft, you all went through a complicated set of magical thingies to get your asses down there, and it was epic and it was amazing. Yasin water bending until the point of exhaustion. Literally, he's got 1 point of exhaustion, and taking the water from the ocean and funneling it down to the world tree so that the ships could cross. Grim jumping off the side of the boat going, gosh, I hope Alexander can catch me, and finding out through trial that indeed not only could Alexander catch her, but could give her his wings, as in she could use his power of flight for a time. And then Keladri literally extending herself. I believe you also have a point of exhaustion as well from this. Extending yourself with your misty step to grab not just your boat, but the other boats in your flotilla, and transporting yourselves down. And at the last minute, both Estrella and Grim using their mage hand abilities to catch Yasin's boat and some of the others to help him down as he passed out in Mud's arms from exhaustion, doing this amazing feat of shaping water. And that is where we start tonight. All of the boats carrying both of the armies, King Fafnir, Princess Astoria, the Crow Lord Master of Arms, the Dragon Queen, Lord Kellen and Lady Fair, and their respective armies, all pull up and lay anchor around the world tree. There is the customary banging of shields, and you can hear the two armies kind of like, as they try to intimidate the other side. And you watch as the Dragon Queen, Hiccup's mother, sort of step out, and she raises a hand with this giant staff, and it's like almost a sort of a halberd, sickle-looking weapon on one side, and she shakes the beads that are on it in the air, and you hear this, and immediately the dragons start to kind of relax, and their wing beats slow down. And on the other side, you see King Fafnir step up to the boat, and then you watch him, being a dwarf, he steps up onto a platform, so he's a little bit taller, and just kind of holds up his axe and just shakes it around in the air, swirls it in a circle, and then lowers it, and you hear the dwarves just kind of and just kind of keep a low, almost growl to them as they all put on their gear and move off of their gangplanks onto the shore of the world tree. What's the party doing right now? Remember, you're still split into two groups right now. Each of you are considered champions of your respective armies and lands. I just want to keep that in your heads because it's a powder keg. You can all sense it without having to make any rolls. You know that there is tension in the air, that any wrong word or misfire of a bow or something could lead to an all-out war. But you notice that as your groups walk down to the shore, everybody turns to look at you. Even the lords and ladies that have come on these ships, they all look to you as champions and are waiting for your lead.
Maybe we should
Good.
just.
I'm just holding
Go
us.
ahead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are you still passed out?
No, he's good. He's
Oh,
he's
okay. I put him down now. I put him down.
Yeah, Yasin's he kind of had like a moment of where he collapsed, but he's up.
Okay.
He's
he
good.
didn't pass out. Gotcha.
Yeah, he's good. Everyone's good. Just a little tired.
Still carried him down there, but it's fine. Don't worry about it.
That was just because she wanted to.
Sweet Yasin.
So we're not on the boats anymore?
No, you've all come down onto the shore, but the boats are there. The plank that leads up to it. You can go back onto the ship if there's something you want to do there.
I was just making sure I was.
So to set the stage for you, just a little, as you all are thinking, a little more setting the stage. This patch of grass, and that's pretty much all it is. It's kind of a marshy grass, a little squishy to the touch, but firm enough to hold weight. Spreads around a trunk that is impossible to see around it. You know how when you look at a tree and you can kind of see both edges kind of curve around the back? You can't see that on this tree. It's so massive that it feels like it could take days to walk the circumference of the trunk. As you look up, you lose track of some of the branches and leaves and parts of the tree itself as it just embeds into the clouds. It is taller than your vision will let you see it. And the clouds from the waterfall that is kind of to one side of you, you see this waterfall where the edge of the world was, and it all feeds down into this pool, and it's like being in the center of Niagara Falls. All around you is waterfalls just hitting about 500 yards away from you, just hitting down, creating these big columns of smoke and mist and cloud. And it all gets lost in the branches of the world tree.
So can we see them and they see us?
Yes. Your ships are literally like 50 feet from each other, where each lead boat has kind of parked, if you will, and you can easily see each. You can make out Mud and Grim and some of the party members as you all come down.
So they saw us help them land, but they're still pissed.
They're just pissed because they're pissed, I'm guessing.
Okay, so I guess we could act normal and just go, hey, what's up?
I'm gonna like
Our
turn
friend,
to,
not to just anybody.
I'm gonna kind of like hold up an arm like this and like turn to Fafnir and the Crow Lord and say, maybe we should send a party to talk with them. They are not our adversary in this quest. Maybe we should see why they are here.
You see the Crow Lord look at you, and he nods and turns to the king. The king puffs up his chest and he goes, "It's not a bad idea, I suppose. Why do you think that they are not our enemies at this time?"
It's less that I think that they're not our enemies and more that I think that we will need their help for what is to come. Because we probably can't take what's next alone, and it would be helpful.
You speak wisely, Master Artificer. Fine. Champions, if the three of you will mute that commercial and accompany me to meet the others. And the commercial's on, it's fine now. And he looks to Kieran, to Yasin, and to Mud. nods once, and then turns and walks towards the other ship, towards the enemy boats, if you will.
We'll follow in suit.
Same.
Grim, Estrella, Keladri, you notice a small party, your friends, break off from the pack, from the large army, and move forward with what you assume is the Dwarven King, just based on his regalia, his giant crown that he wears.
It's kind of hard to miss us all among
the. they're all really small. You know, it's like a sea of little dwarven heads, and then there's Yasin and Kieran, and then there's Mud. Way up there. A mountain among dwarvish men. But the Dragon Queen, she steps forward. Ah, well, I can see they've got their party ready to meet us. I suppose we should follow suit. Estrella, what do you think in these matters? A show of force, or perhaps match them the way they are?
Oh, we gotta keep the vibes chill. Let's hear them out.
Quite a wise course of action, champion. Fair enough. Then I suppose if the three of you would accompany me, we can go hear what King Fafnir has to say about all of this. If you'd be so kind as to escort me, come along. And you see the Hiccup's mother kind of move off, and Hiccup immediately kind of like, all right, here we go. And his mom looks at him and she goes, Aye, Chief Hiccup, I need you to stay behind with the others if you don't mind. This is business for the champions and I alone. We'll hear out their king and we'll come and tell you what decisions have been made. Yeah, but Mom, Hiccup, do as I say in this, please. Trust me. All right. You just be careful out there. I don't fully trust Fafnir. The other dwarves, that's another matter, but the king, he worries me. Just watch yourselves out there, okay? I Hiccup. You. Come along. And she starts to move towards kind of this center area. So, 25 feet in, 25 feet in. There's this center area, which is actually by a very large root that's kind of raised itself above the ground and goes into the water on the other side, making this archway that the two parties meet underneath, this giant root archway. The queen steps close to the king. The two of them clearly sizing each other up, their weapons, sort of put into the marshy ground at their sides. My lord? Mistress? I see you have your own champions with you in this endeavor. Aye, my lord, and you yourself. They're not dwarves, I see. I take it you found people from other realms to come into your aid, have you not? I no different than yours. I don't see a dragon among them. Well, perhaps you would like to introduce us to your friends, my lord Fafnir. Yes, of course. And he motions back to the party. This here is Master Artificer Kieran Broxel, Admiral Yasin Maurice Driftwood, and the champion of the arenas, Lordream. An impressive bunch you've gathered here before you. I have with me Estrella, Grim, and Keladri. Fancy titles don't mean much to dragons, but I guarantee these are some of the fiercest warriors I've met. I have no doubt.
That's the Dragon Queen.
There's a small pause between the two of them as you can see each the king and queen, trying to figure out the next course of action. This is an opportunity for the party to speak up if they wish, or you can allow the conversation to play out. Your choice.
It's okay, we know each other. It's a friend from
From what?
work.
That's what I was like, but Yasin was acting like he don't. Not Yasin. Kieran.
See,
Are we
well,
not acting like we know each other?
I'll need to figure that out.
That's what I'm trying to.
Oh. We just group hug in front of them.
That's what I was gonna say. Just go over there and be like, "It's been a minute."
Right.
Bud's going to take take Kieran's lead and be like, I have heard of these warriors, these champions of yours. They are very, very well rounded in the ways of championship. I didn't say Mud was good with words, right?
I find your champions to be very championy in the championy way that
The
they
most champion-esque I've ever heard.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
As Mud talks, Fafnir kind of
She shouldn't.
puffs up his chest a little bit. Kind of, he has a quizzical look on his face, like, but he's like, whatever. And like,
I don't have a huge intelligence here, guys. It's okay.
Does the other side respond in any way?
What's up, dude?
Um,
I don't have anything. I can't think of anything. I don't know what's going on.
this is such a tense situation to come back to.
It's okay. It's okay.
Maybe we just
Again?
acknowledge that we also know them. That we've crossed paths as well.
Okay, all right.
I'm just gonna be really quiet
Okay,
because I don't know what's happening.
So Keladri and Mud
I'm just gonna be watching them
forward
like.
with this. That's cool. I like it. Keladri and Mud sort of acknowledging each other's feats in the past, if you will. The queen looks at Keladri, and she raises an eyebrow as she looks back to Fafnir and the other champions. I take it Faerun must be a small place for our two sides to have heard of each other's feats before. Curious, you two don't know each other, do ya? Or is it just merely you've heard of each other?
I'm gonna go to the queen
Hey.
if I can, and get beside her, but not like. Because I
Wait.
want to touch her back to like calm her. It'll be like, because we've talked about them in front of her,
Okay, yeah.
but like,
You have. Okay, cool. Yep.
but I don't want her to blow their cover or whatever if they're being, like we don't know each other. Then
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna kind of tap her shoulder, but try to make it so nobody can see it.
Sure. And in doing so, she does get a moment of, oh, fuck, yes, you're right. And acknowledges, you feel her relax.
Mm-hmm.
A bit. But the question has been brought out, and now King Fafnir turns to Mud and goes, well, the queen brings up a good point.
Why Mud?
You agree?
I'm gonna interrupt him, even though that's probably not a great idea.
I don't want to interrupt Alyssa.
All
I'm gonna
right.
be like, as people, I'm like, well, we all hop around from, what are these called? Realms to realms. I mean, you might, hear about someone or run into them every once in a while.
What were you trying to say, Eli?
I want to ask, where is Hiccup to be like our bridge for these conversations?
He's back on the boat or something.
His mother told him to stay behind.
Oh, okay.
Hiccup
I'm gonna go ahead.
No, I'm just saying Hiccup was going to move forward, but his mother said to stay behind. This is just a talk between the two of them and their champions. Kieran?
What's the name? Just remind me of the name of the dragon. The dragon that we're here to.
Oh, Jormungandr.
Jormungandr. Yeah, sorry. I
Yes.
just totally spaced on the name. I was like, what is its name? I've been trying to figure it out for like 2 minutes.
The world serpent, yep.
The world's there we go. I'll just refer to this. I'll kind of step forwards and just be like, it seems to be that the only reason both of our parties would be here is to fight Jormungandr at this world tree. Otherwise, why else would we land on the same beach? The realms are quite large and expansive, but traveling through time and space, you cross paths.
So I've heard. Tell me, Master Artificer Kieran, is it? Just exactly what brings you and your party here to this world tree to speak with the High Dragon Jormungandr? He's not just a world serpent. He is a dragon. And as far as I know, the dwarves don't take kindly to dragons. The queen looks at you, Kieran, expectantly waiting on an answer.
It's gone south.
We are here to find a solution. Evidently, they are a great source and center, and we seek answers, and we figured that this would be the place to find them.
Yes. Answers, Queen of the Dragons. Answers as to why our worlds are collapsing. Answers as to why you're barring our path to the heavens and to the one God who can solve all this. Now, King Fafnir, you know good and well why we are here. We seek an audience with our God, and yet you seek to destroy him. No other reasons matter beyond these two. While I appreciate everyone here looking for peace, unless the dwarves are willing to lay down their arms and swear they will not attempt to kill our God, the peace talks might have difficulty moving forward.
Mud's gonna step forward and try again. She's going to address King Fafnir and be like, is this not why we are here? Why we are your champions was to broker peace between your people.
Roll persuasion with advantage.
Yay.
It is true. That is why he assigned them to you. So let's see how you can convince him.
Oh, 19 plus 6, so 25.
You bring up a good point, champion. My queen, the dwarves will lay down their arms for a time and to hear what your side has to say. We can talk. Bring in your lords and ladies, and I will bring in the noblemen of my side, and we will see what peace can be brokered. But do not misjudge me, my queen. Our longboats stand ready to burn Yggdrasil to the ground if needed, to save our people. Of course, my king, we will lay down our arms as well, and we shall bring in our noble dragons to this conclave, this meeting between us. And I can assure you, my king,
Legs.
but our dragons stand ready to burn your people asunder if needed. Finally, a worthy adversary. Let us talk. And you watch as the queen and king move apart and head to their boats. They don't look to see if the champions follow, but you see them start to call out, and you hear the king blow on a horn, and immediately you see the Crow Lord, Princess Astoria, and an assembling of other guards sort of move to the front of the army and make their way towards King Fafnir. On the other side, you can hear the queen roar into the air. And as she does, you watch Lord Kellen, Lady Fair, and a couple of higher ranking dragonborns step out and move to her side. You have a small moment where the six of you are alone and can talk as you wait on the king and queen to rejoin you.
This is going so bad.
I'm gonna be like, so you don't know me now? What the fuck?
It's like we brought our two divorced parents together.
It's always fun. Not really.
That's just gonna kind of like let go of a breath that she's been under, like, oh my god.
But Dragon Queen seems nice. She seems well put together.
Well, she's not
Dawson just went all girl talk mode. So
that we know of.
So
Tell me about him.
I'm gonna keep an eye on both parties just to like see if anybody's like vantage pointing us.
Roll perception.
I'm gonna look stern the
19.
entire time so they think we're just like talking shit to each other. It's fine.
Okay, cool. What's your
19
roll?
was the roll.
19. You can see right now that both the king and the queen are more engaged in talking with their nobles than really paying attention to what their champions are doing. And their walk has slowed as they are. You can tell they're making plans. Each is making hand gestures and talking emphatically back and forth. You see the nobles engaging with them. Their pace has slowed quite a bit. You as you keep track of them, you know that you've got a decent amount of time to strategize a plan.
Guys,
Okay.
we need both of them to see the truth. We don't even know the truth quite yet, but we need them to see it for themselves so that we can unify them with.
How do we show them the truth if we don't know the truth?
We don't know.
We walk in there and bring them to this god, Thanos. We bring them to Thanos.
What if we volunteer to go and find out if we can even get to Thanos as a group instead of everyone in this fucking place doing that?
Good idea.
And it would be for their side and our side. What?
It's a good idea. I don't know if we should leave them alone together, if that makes sense.
And I don't want to be a babysitter.
Oh no. Hiccup could be the babysitter.
We could get Hiccup. Well,
here,
Hiccup and his uncle, I guess, could be babysitters.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Either that or I don't know.
We should probably bring Mordu with us as well.
Mhm.
Well, yeah.
Can I quickly brief the other side on who Mordu is and how we talk to him?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's just the son of
Sonus.
yeah,
The son of
Sonus
Sonus.
and Scary Dragon Lady.
Tiamat.
Tiamat.
Hmm.
And he's with us.
Ew.
Maybe
You say ew.
do,
I hate you.
do you guys think that we could convince at least both parties to set up camp far away from each other and then bring a small party with us to scout of the key contributors?
Or I mean, I
Do we know
figure
if that will work?
other people will still join because they're stubborn,
Uh,
like the queen.
no, they do
Yeah.
not come. That is too much of a problem. Having the king
Well,
with us. It is also
Wouldn't
a
it be a problem to elect them?
I'm gonna
Say that again.
I'm gonna
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Jessica, go.
No. You go.
Okay.
Go.
I'm gonna brief them on the whole Arkenstone situation that I touched and was like, and have a plan to kind of like extract that from him, that he's being influenced by that. Kind of mention that considering the conversation with the Dragon Queen. Could be a convincer.
Maybe we should convince them to make camp for the night, and we can actually take our time with this instead of rushing into the problem.
Do we know if this place is even safe though?
When do we ever know if something is safe?
I would say that rather than having you make checks, we'll just go ahead and assume that all of you are on your game.
We don't sound like we're on our game.
Well, at least your senses are on overdrive right now. All of my magic users, Keladri, Grim, Estrella, you can sense a large magical presence that has not revealed itself yet. And it's not the tree. You can feel the tree, and the tree is slightly overwhelming in what it's emitting through the arcanic forces. But there is another presence, which you could assume would be the world serpent, as that's what you've been told guards this tree. You can feel its presence, and it is not something you want to trifle with. You can sense that. For the land itself, Kieran, Yasin, Mud, you all immediately kind of gauge the terrain. This is difficult terrain to move in. Any fight here would come at a disadvantage of movement, except in the water, where Yasin knows that if the battle has to move out that way, either his natural ability to swim or his command of his boats could come to an advantage, but they would need to position the fight near one of his ships. Right now they're at 50 feet out in either direction, or rather 25 feet out in either direction. That's about the limit of his guns, and to be more accurate, he'd have to draw the battle closer to one of his ships. And you could have all talked this to each other quickly, easily. You all know the lay of the land. This is not a place you want to fight, nor do you want to incur the wrath of perhaps the largest serpent you will ever encounter in your life. But you could piss it off. It's okay. That is still an option. Okay. I'm not saying you can't fight it. I'm just saying it wouldn't be a fun fight. That's all.
Any casualty? All of us casualties.
Can I sense where I'm sensing it from? Like, can I tell where it is by magic?
Roughly the other side of the tree.
Okay.
That's about the best you can sense.
Okay. So, quick question: do we know where we're supposed to go Now that we're at this tree.
No, there's nothing that you would intrinsically know. You'd have to roll, investigate, discern. That's something you have to figure out for yourselves.
That's what I figured.
Yeah,
I
can
was
I
just curious.
investigate if like the tree is easily like traversed, like almost has
But we
natural
can also,
sway backs like in it, or is it actually just a tree that you have to climb?
Roll investigation.
This motherfucker probably has steps. If it has an elevator, we're golden.
13.
13.
Nice.
So with the 13, you know that this tree, you can easily see that this tree has knobs and bumps and mushrooms and warts and all the kind of things that like old trees have. But you can see that this tree is also very soft. The wood is soft. And it's easy enough for you, your size, your strength, to either use a weapon to cut notches into it or to literally just kind of punch your way, kind of dig into it. So you could lead a climb up the tree once it gets past a point where you guys can hop branches and roots and things like that.
Right.
You feel confident that as long as that kind of softness continues up, you could easily traverse it with your strength.
Hey, that's me though.
Well, you would make handholds for the other ones.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, I got you. I'm sorry.
But the handholds would be so far away from each other. This is gigantic. I'd be like, bro, can you take an extra hole? Just every
Guys.
climb, just take an extra in the middle.
We've gotten ourselves to this situation, but I think we forgot about the fact that we still have some artifacts that we have been avoiding using to get us to Thanos
Okay.
immediately.
Well, yeah, but the whole point was us to figure out if they could get to him.
It was bad.
Well, yeah, but I'm thinking this has brought us together because we had to bring them together, but maybe we bring the king and the queen with us to Thanos and
Well,
The
I think
cracked out
like-
king? That one
Like
that
I said, maybe we convince them during the talks to give it a night, so we could prepare. Hopefully, Kieran and us can work through the stone thing.
cleanse the king.
Cleanse Crazy King, and then we can ascend the next day. Oh, like
I mean, I'm cool with that. We don't have to do everything right now.
touch the weapons and ascend, not like actual climb.
How are we using the king? Do you guys know what the process for that is yet? Or
Kieran has yet to figure it out. But he has a plan.
Going to pain, lots of pain.
On it.
Lots of
You
pain.
can do it. I believe in you.
At this time, Kieran, you notice that the king and queen are close enough now that if you continue talking, they will overhear.
I'm going to try to motion for. I think Estrella has both musical instruments.
She does.
yes.
If I have like a satchel or something, can I get her to kind of like drop one into my satchel so I can we can both technically have one, so we can kind of prove that we're both able to get to Thanos, sort of thing.
You
Should we
both
really?
have to roll stealth at this point if you don't want them to see this happen. But yes, you can.
Well, let me see what my stealth is like. It's not great, but we can try, Jessica, if you want to.
This is a
I mean,
huge roll.
Are there
guys.
2 other stealthier people that can make the transaction?
At some point, I have both of them. I'm gonna have to roll stealth to get it to any of you.
Or I can take it out of your bag and put it in her bag.
Yeah.
And then you won't have to do stealth.
Okay.
If
Let
I
me
just-
see if I have stealth.
Jessica, if I just like walk by you like I'm looking around,
That's
Is your-
sleight of hand.
just grab it.
I might be able to use
I'm
a
gonna-
bag to grab it. I can't physically touch it, or it will take me to
Oh
Thanos.
yeah.
So
I'm gonna nudge Yasin and like nod at him, and then I'm going to fake a punch right in front of his face.
Why for?
No idea.
so he can fall back into a straw or something and grab it.
Because he's on my same side. He's on my same side. That's why I'm not punching one of you guys.
Oh, I got you.
No, I just meant in general. Why were we?
And then I'm gonna like dive bomb him and look like we're struggling.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Distraction. Got it. Cool.
As you do this, the Crow Lord immediately sees the scuffle and kind of, and him and a couple of guards rush forward and are immediately on top of the two of you and do hear him, "What the hell are you two doing? We're on the same side here. I don't get off each other, you stupid idiots."
While this is happening, can we try to make the switch?
You can.
All right, I'm gonna go for it.
This will give you advantage on your rolls.
Okay, cool.
Okay, great.
Now I gotta figure out how to explain myself out of this one.
Advantage.
All right, 21 for mud.
Okay, and Estrella?
17.
All right. Which one's going over? Which weapon? Which instrument?
Which instrument?
Which thingy-mabobber?
I will take the Star Wars one if I can.
The clue horn. Okay.
The clue horn.
There you go.
Kind of makes more sense for her to have that one. So.
And you do. So Estrella, you are left with the dragon flute from this realm that they gave you. The clue horn goes to Mud, successfully transferred over a little kind of a whoop, a little drip and flip in there, and falls out of one bag into another. Nobody touches it. You're all good to go there. I'm trying to think. And Estrella, you also have the loot from Hyrule.
Yeah, we've been holding on to a few of them.
Okay, so you have three. You have three. One of them you gave to Thaunis, which was the one from Faerun.
Which is the first one.
The first one from Faerun.
Which is like a liar or something.
It was a liar, yeah. So he took that, he absorbed it, did all of his doodah things with it. Your party still has three of his ancient musical instrument weapony things.
Solid.
All right, the transfer was successful. The Crow Lord manages to pull Yasin and Kieran off. I imagine the two of you aren't like trying to stay in the fight, so you're not fighting against the guards or anything.
Sorry, Master Crow
like,
Lord. So we're
what
trying
the
to
hell?
find out that your best friend slept with his sister.
And I'm going to be like, I'm going to grab both of them by like the scruff of their shirt, and I'm going to be like, "Oh, Justin, you don't do that."
Justin's like, you have a sister?
Would you please get yourselves together?
I will keep them as far apart as I can.
Just be between them, Mud, all right? We don't need an incident in front of the Queen.
Just so you know, you guys are like off your feet, by the way. Just a little bit though. Just like, I've got them. We are trying to do peace talks here. This is not. I'm gonna start
like
just dragging them back towards camp.
I'm sorry, bro. I owe you.
They gently fist bump behind Mud's back.
Boom. The distraction worked. By this time now, everyone has assembled. The Queen and her entourage, who saw a bit of the scuffle and definitely saw Mud kind of like separate them. And she has this smile on her face, but you don't know what it means. She just has this smile on her face. And of course, King Fafnir, who saw everything happen and had the Crow Lord do his doodah, but doesn't seem to really pay attention to all of you. Kieran and Grim, I want you to both roll insight with advantage.
Insight.
Yep, Kieran and Grim. Insight with advantage.
That just means roll twice, right?
And take the higher number, yep.
I don't need to. Natural 20.
Woo!
Kieran's on fire. Let's see about Grim.
18.
18, that's good. So, both of you giving your have already made contact with the Arkenstone. Both of you immediately sense the presence of the Arkenstone. It washes over you like a feeling of nausea. That it's not just power that you're feeling from it. You're feeling darkness and evil and just this sense of dread, and it's not even like cool darkness. It's like disgusting, putrid, rotting darkness, and you just feel sick to your stomach. The rest of you, you know something's different in the air. There's an edge that has appeared, but you don't know where it's coming from. If it's because of the party members growing on either side, if the war drums are banging louder. But Kieran and Graham, you both know the Arkenstone is now in play.
Having a quick question. Does the fact that I have a +8 to insight, so like 28, does that play any additional
Sure.
point? Because I'm considering
Yeah,
I've
why not?
touched the Arkansas.
Yeah, +8 special. Let's work that. Because shit, I got a +8 to anything. It's got to be something. Ooh-wee.
Everything else is like, eh.
What your +8 allows you to discern, Kieran, is that you can tell exactly where the Arkenstone is. It's not just its presence, but you can localize that to the king himself. And in fact, as you look at him, you notice that he is wearing a necklace that wasn't there before. And the chain tucks down behind his breastplate. And it is in that general vicinity that you feel the center of where the Arkenstone's power is coming from. Grim, you had a question?
I was gonna ask if I could tell where it was, but
If you want to roll an Arcana check, you might be able to localize it the same way Kieran did.
okay. 23.
Yep, you know everything that Kieran knows. You can sense it coming from behind his breastplate and hooked to a chain. With that, since you did an Arcana check, I'd also like you to make a Wisdom saving throw. As you reached out to it just a little bit differently, you extended your magical abilities. So give me a Wisdom saving throw, Grim. Yes. This is gonna be fun.
How do I go back? Wisdom saving. 17.
Here's what happens. As you reach out with your arcanic abilities, reaching out with your magic, you touch the Arkenstone. You feel where it is in your mind. And then you feel something touch your mind back. And you see a shadowy dragon appear around the king. At first, all you see is a claw on either side of the king, just one claw. And as you trail up with your eyes, you're trying to be subtle about this, you see this shadowy foot and leg, the chest rising to the neck, the head, and these giant wings. And you realize that this dragon is ancient and powerful and is bigger than the ones you saw on the island with the Dragon Queen. As big as those two dragons were, you realize that the one inside the Arkenstone is even larger and more deadly. And you can feel him smile at you. And he tries and grab your mind and to twist it and you're able to cut off the connection just in time before you see what it is he's trying to do, and you watch the shadow fade slowly and descend back into King Fafnir. The king steps forward. My queen, I have brought my nobles. Let us talk. Of course, Lord Fafnir. Let us talk. And you watch everybody, as if it's some choreographed dance, fan out into a semicircle on either side, thus making a complete circle, if you will. At the center, the king and the queen, their nobles fanning out to either side of them. The party just kind of looks around as like, oh man, I wasn't invited to the memo on this, what the hell? And you are sort of in the center, and you guys look to like, should I stand, should I move? And both the king and queen hold up their hands and go, stay. You will act as our judge, juries, and advocates in this matter. Whatever we cannot decide, you will have a chance to defend. If what you say holds true, then that will stave off a war. Is that how we are doing this, Queen? Aye, Lord Fafnir. As are the rules of the conclave. What we say, our champions will defend, and their words will carry with it peace or war. So is decided. Yasin's like, wait, I didn't sign up for this. Yeah, this is a little secret thing that you didn't know was going to happen. But they look at you as if you should know what's happening here. So have fun with this.
I'm gonna finally drop Yasin and Kieran on like either side and just stand right behind the king.
Just finally drop them. Whoop. The king bows slightly and goes, ladies first, please. And you can hear the sarcasm in his voice. And she glares at him a moment, and then raises her voice. As per the wishes of the dragon clans, we are seeking an audience with the High Lord Thundrar, god of this realm, maker of all dragons. We wish to entreat him to intervene in what is happening here, that he may hope to stop this convergence of worlds and realms. To meet with the god. Have you ever considered that he is the one who caused this to begin with? That perhaps your Thunrar would better serve us dead, and that by his blood we could save our people. And here we stand at an impasse, the conclave, where we will never commit a god to death, and you will not permit us to see him in life. Champions, it is here where you act as advocate for us. Speak your sides. Convince each other as you convinced us to be champion. I ask for Estrella to stand forth as voice of our champions. And I ask for Kieran to stand forth as the voice of our champions. The two of you will debate and convince. Speak war or speak peace. And let the nobles decide. And the two of you step to the center of this circle. And see the eyes of the entire conclave upon the two of you. So here's how this works. A question has been brought forth, whether or not Thonis, Thonrar, all of his different names, is the cause of the problem or can help the problem. Estrella, as the champion of the dragons, you are expected, I'm just going to tell you so you know, you're expected to be on their side of the argument and to argue for them. Kieran, you're expected to argue for the dwarves and convince the others of the best course of action. But you can say or do whatever you want, however you want to do it, to try and stave off war, or to send the two into a tizzy. Have fun.
So it's debate team right now. Okay.
Sure is.
I didn't get a good grade.
So before I'm gonna say out loud before we begin, I'm gonna turn to Mud and act like I need her to throw me something.
Oh, I'm going to just toss the whole bag to you.
And I'll grab the bag. And as a very clear trying to communicate with Estrella what I'm thinking. Since I can't say anything out loud at this current moment.
Mhm.
And while that is happening, I'm thinking in my brain. As opposed to out of my brain.
On the computer.
We have come here. Hard, man.
Yeah, no, it is. I'm having fun. This is great.
Oh man, I'm just
Shit's
glad
hard
you
to make
didn't
up
say
on the
my
spot,
name.
isn't it?
Praise Jesus, you didn't say me.
We have come on behalf of the Dwarven Kingdom to expose the truth behind these deities.
You hear behind you, Kieran, the dwarves, yeah, boom, 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 boom. They start to bang their armor or their shields that the guards have with them. And King Fafnir's like, hey, yes. So the dwarves are still with you, Kieran. How would Estrella like to respond, right?
Like it used my Kronk.
So are we all gonna like scooch towards the bag and just disappear?
Is that what we're going? Is that why you have the bag?
No.
Oh,
I just
careful,
want the bag.
careful with table talk on this one. This is the fun part here. All we
I'm
know
just gonna
is
kind of like. We're keeping it completely conversational for now. I'm just looking at you like, what say you? Not friend?
Oh gosh. Okay.
Fellow one-armed fiend?
Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm gonna walk up to you and I'm gonna shake your one arm with my one arm.
Which arms do you guys have?
Like a good politician hand.
Touch nub.
We're gonna touch
arm.
nub.
Nubs. Oh man. Line.
Okay. Everyone just goes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to. Oh, geez. There's so many people.
I just said that we're trying to discover the truth behind these deities. Trying to avoid saying more.
Okay. Then my response to that is Umbrella will. Oh god, I'm gonna have to stand up straight and project my voice. Trying to remember what else I was trying to make. that's noble, and we would all like to know the truth about these deities, but we are trying to avoid any bloodshed. So many people have lost their lives already. I'm going for sympathy points here. So many people have lost already. And maybe these deities have answers for us.
You hear the dragons all start to kind of, and the queen is like, "Aye, indeed we would. Well said, Estrella." So the dragons are still with you.
It just
And I'll kind of stand a little taller and say,
Just gonna
there's
get
no way in the three hells that a dragon kingdom or a dwarven kingdom will back down from any fight, but maybe there is an opportunity for us to hear out a truth and make our decision once what we believe to be the truth is exposed. And I'll kind of look to the king.
They all start to bang their armor. But the king, since you looked at him, the king looks at you and he goes, Master Artificer, what truth is it that you're looking to expose?
Oh my God.
You speak of truths,
I'm just gonna hide in the hole now.
and both sides talk of finding the truth. I think even the queen and I can both agree that we here seek the truth, do we not, my lady? Aye, that we do, and our champions speak well. But I agree with King Fafnir in this moment, Master Artificer Kieran and Estrella. What truths do the two of you speak of, and how do you propose that we find out about them?
What?
Stage fright for you guys. I'm sorry.
the ancient art of rock, paper,
Jesus Christ. Each of us believe we have our own truth, but that's subjective. That's relative to our viewpoint. I want a gavel. Can I approach the bench? Only one of us can be right. Thonis either is Thonis either is good or bad. What are you doing? Was this helpful?
this awful.
So someone's right and someone's wrong. So that's the truth we're looking for.
You hear growls of dissension behind you, Estrella. But even the dwarves are also kind of tilting their heads and looking concerned. And you hear Lord Kellen speak up. Remember Lord Kellen being
To the microphone.
perhaps one of the two most powerful of the Dragonborns in yeah, personal friends with Grimm and Alexander. He's the one who looked through Grimm to see Alexander, and Alexander kind of wet himself a little bit. Just a little. He still stayed manly. You hear Lord Kellen step up and go, "You're implying that one of us is right and one is wrong. But we clearly understand that our God is good. So you must be saying the dwarves are wrong." And at that, you hear Princess Astoria step up. "That's not how we heard it at all. Clearly, that your God is evil and needs to be dealt with."
Okay, can Estrella,
Sure, you can do whatever you want.
both of them for a second? Can I don't want to look at both of them. I don't want to say, what is more important to you right now? Let's big picture this. Fixing all of the worlds that are collapsing in, which will kill everyone, including both groups here, or a pissing contest, which will kill one group, but then another group will eventually die because the realms will converge. Are we going to fix this together, or are you going to kill everyone trying to be right?
Roll persuasion with advantage.
That was amazing.
And these people are picking me off. It's like,
I think I might have influenced Estrella's mage.
This is glorious.
that's a 15.
Okay.
Not bad.
With a 15, you kind of hear Lord Callan mutter under his breath, "No pissing contest," but he sort of like backs away. But he backs away, and Princess Astoria looks at you, Estrella, and she goes, "I can see why you were chosen to be champion for the dragons. You speak well, and in all honesty, you speak the truth. I am more concerned with saving our people than with fighting over what we believe is right. I stand with Estrella in learning the truth behind who Faunus, as you would refer to him, actually is. And Princess Astoria moves to the side of the dragons. And you watch as they part ranks and allow her through, and the dwarven side of the conclave shrinks by one. And King Fafnir grumbles. Well spoken, Estrella. Clearly, the Queen chose well. Kieran, a valiant effort, but I ask you to take a step back. And I call Admiral Yossen Driftwood to stand as voice for the champions. The Queen looks at Estrella, and she steps forward and she puts a hand on your shoulder, and she goes, "You catch on quickly how the conclave is won. Well done. It's all about convincing the other side to join ours. Or vice versa, as you can see could happen. Well spoken. You can rest now." I also applaud Australia's valiant effort in this, and she speaks loud so everyone can hear. And I call Caladri to stand in now for the voice of the champions.
Oh, it's perfect because we're like right above each other on the screen.
So,
I'm just happy it wasn't me.
Same. Same.
as per the rules of the conclave, there is one vote to uncover the truth. And the truth is this: to learn Thonus's actual intentions. For this, we can put to the side and say that we agree. But how do we agree on this is the question. I propose, King Fafnir, that a small delegation from both our sides journey up this tree to face the world serpent and ask for passage into the realm of the heavens. And at Jormungandr's behest, to meet face to face with this Thunrar, this Thonus, whatever his true name might be, and to ask him outright, what are his intentions? Do you agree to this, King Fafnir? I agree to most of what you've said, my lady. But I do not trust your kind entering into the gates of heaven any more than you truly trust mine to go. So I make a different proposal. Not that we beseech Jormungandr for access to the heavens, but that we breach it by force. From a position of strength we storm the castle, and we seek an audience with the king as such, under our blade, so that the truth may be heard, and not some fabricated lie in the aims of peace. Champions, ye hear before you the two sides as they are proposed. We await your words in the final decision-making process. Yasin and Keledri, the conclave looks to you in this matter.
Wait, where are you going?
Keledri's gonna step forward and look towards the side of the dwarves. I'm gonna say, just it seems to me it would be wisdom right now to set aside violence, lest many die in vain. Whether take a breath, we're
I have a
think
hard
the
time
easiest-
hearing you a little bit.
sorry. The best course would be to put it to Thonis and let him prove himself to one side or the other.
Interesting, my lady Keledri. And you hear the dragons kind of murmur in ascension. The dragons are still with you. But you hear the Crow Lord speak up. Well, that's all well and good that we can ask him how he appears, but how do we know the truth of who he is?
I mean, how do you not know the truth? What evidence do you bring of his great evil upon this land?
Arguing with the pastor on the college campus.
Yasin, you feel the dwarven conclave all stare at you from behind, like your back is on fire, as you can feel them all stare at you, and they want you to answer Keledri's question and defend the honor of the dwarves.
The dwarves are always so angry already. I guess for Yasin, I think I'm going to have Yasin just follow Keledri's lead and to try to expand upon because we just try to expand upon how we know Thonis is real because we've met him a couple times. And should we have his artifacts with us, and that they're obviously may have his essence all across them, and we are more than willing to show them. We could probably even bring him right here.
At these words, the entire conclave breaks into chaos. They all start murmuring amongst each other. Did you know that they have the elements of Thonis? They have the peace of our God with them. Just all around this conclave, you hear everybody just erupting and talking, and it's not dangerous. You don't fear for your lives, but what you sense is confusion, and from the queen, a little bit of betrayal as she looks at her party and acknowledges the fact that you never told us you had pieces of Thonis with you, his instruments. The king, Fafnir, on the other hand, looks at Yasin and he smiles big at all of the chaos, like, my man had an ace up his sleeve, look at this. So he's incredibly pleased right now. with how things have turned out. The two of them, the king and the queen, hold their hands up to try and quiet the conclave. And it's King Fafnir who speaks first.
I think that Admiral Yawson spoke quite eloquently, and I agree, as should we all. Bring the god here. We, the dwarven clans, agree to this proposal by our champion. Bring the god here.
And you hear it start to whisper and chant around the dwarves.
Bring the god here. Bring the god here.
And you watch Hiccup's mother raise her chin and look at her champions and at King Fafnir, and then look at her own dragons as they start to chant, bring the god here. Bring the god here. It appears that I am overruled in this matter by the conclave. So we shall endeavor to bring our god here. King Fafnir, you have my support.
Then it is settled.
Yes. Is Mud going to say something?
If I may, my king, my queen, she's gonna step forward. I understand we are all very eager for these moments. And it is quite a shock, she looks at the queen, that these champions might have such artifacts. I ask you, though, to give us as a group of champions a night to work on getting that for you.
Roll persuasion.
Okay. 18. Math is hard.
The queen looks at the party and she smiles sadly. I feel that perhaps this is something that you've all been working on without my knowledge. Estrella, Grim, Caladri,
Yes.
I wish you would have told me the whole truth in these matters.
Oh, she's disappointed in us.
Oh no. She's not angry.
Perhaps there was a different way we could have worked things out, but
Wasn't the dragon flute one, though?
What you possess
I-
is... Is Graham going to interject the queen's words?
Yes.
All right, what you want to say, Graham?
I'm going to tell her that we don't even use them unless it's absolutely necessary. They can be dangerous, and we don't know the full extent of them. So no, we do not just tell. We don't tell anybody about them.
The queen looks at you, Graham, and she goes, "Aye, they are dangerous, and some more than others. King Fafnir, the Dragon Clan agrees to your champion's proposal, they shall have the night, assuming you would agree, to figure out what to do with these relics that they have taken from our clan.
Aye. The Dwarven clans agree to this proposal as well. Our champions may have one night. And while my queen, I agree with you that I too feel taken aback a bit by not knowing that these two parties are in fact one. I must say that it has worked out. I did not foresee this as a solution. The dwarves will adjourn to our ships. There will be peace this night. And I think we will all keep a wary eye on our champions to see what they can produce in the morning. Perhaps the war will not be between us, my queen.
Aye. Perhaps the war will lie in other matters. Of this you and I are in agreement, my lord. We shall adjourn the night. And the two turn, and the conclaves turn. And for one moment, everyone's backs are turned to the party as they all walk away, leaving the six of you alone to figure out what you are going to do as the sun finally sets beyond the horizon and night takes over the sky.
So, Yasin is never allowed to speak again.
Oh gosh, no! Don't say that. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I have an idea.
I mean, we weren't really on either of their sides, and we weren't really not on either of their sides. So,
I mean, you guys could have just said that the dragon dagger that she gave you, or dragon flute,
Dragon dagger flute. It's
was the item, so she wouldn't have gotten mad at you.
what do you mean? I missed something. Apparently, I wasn't paying attention.
well, I mean, but it was too late for Dawson because he already revealed that they had more than one item.
No, he revealed we had an item.
No, that ever did.
That
That
the
there was
flute-
more
Yeah,
than one.
He named us as a group.
Yeah. And that we all have items of Thaunis. Like it was. That's
Like we all personally have something.
As soon as I heard that, I went, "Ooh, here we go! This is
Okay,
the juicy
it's
part.
Fine. It's fine.
This was good.
It's
This
fine.
was great.
I have an
Great.
idea.
Referring
I
to
do-
because how does Yasin even know that they have the flute in the 5 minutes that we were together before being
Well, we have
mediator?
speaking tones, so I've told them about what we've gathered so far. I thought we talked about the flute.
It's possible. It's definitely possible that Yasin would know, but also in this situation, you have all achieved one thing: peace. The two sides will not be going to war this night. You all bought yourselves a full night to plan and do whatever it is you guys want to do. And you kind of steered the conflict from being between the dwarves and the dragons to the two of them looking at the party and going, we might join forces to screw with them, which is still peace. Just so you guys know, that's still peace
That
between
works.
the two clans.
It works.
So like
All just gonna be crucified at the stake tomorrow.
this is all good. So
Fine.
it's so far this is actually an interesting ploy. I really want to see how y'all are gonna dig your way out of this. This is good. I will say that Kieran, keeping your perception from earlier, you do notice that splitting from the Dwarven clan and the Dragon clan is Hiccup and Hiccup's uncle, who have kind of been talking with the nobles from a distance.
That works, but
And they're going to make their way towards you. So you still have some time to talk privately, but being your immediate guides, they're concerned and they're kind of coming over to talk.
Mhm.
So you have this time to table talk and plan as a group what What do you all want to do? What is your
Sweating
plan?
now, man. Goodness.
The dragons and the dwarves are expecting you to use these items to bring Thaunis to that realm, to that.
All right, y'all. Are we using these items not for their intended purpose?
You're gonna avoid the
war.
I was like, I'm gonna like whisper, like, can we even freaking do that? Like,
Yeah, no. I do have an idea for this. I know that's not the intended purposes of these things, but we've never tried to combine the power of all of the items at once. We do have 3 or 4 or 3.
4. He absorbed one of them, so you have 3 left.
We could try to either open a portal or bring him here, Mr. Like, we have a master artificer with us, so.
Can't we just open a portal and bring someone who says they're Thaunis here?
Oh my God! Why would you want to do?
So like bring his son and pretend to be Thaunis?
I think too many people.
Let's go find our dwarf. Oh no, he died. No.
Peladry can open portals, but if that is mixed with the magic of the relics, maybe we can open a portal to the Tavern of Realms, so we can just have a kind of. We can go to him. They can come to us.
It's like when you open the Stargate and you kind of.
Yeah, pretty much. You just.
And you also have more dew in your back pocket. I'm just gonna say.
More dew could come.
That's what I was saying. We could pretend he's Thaunis.
But I think many of the dragons have seen him before.
But you don't know what he can do.
What if Thaunis doesn't want to come with us?
I don't think we should give him an option. I like the idea of combining Calendry's portal action with the items, and I think we just grab and pull him through, and we're like, "Hey, buddy, this is kind of your fault to begin with."
That would kind of put him off kilter. So maybe, hopefully, he'd be
So
he is the one causing all of this, though.
But
we really don't want to piss him off.
Well then.
But since we're
they'll see the truth at the cost of our lives.
horrible.
Why did we talk to his son?
So as all of you are literally arguing, as you're arguing together in this little small circle, Hiccup is the first one to catch up with you all. He's kind of trotting along. Toothless is at his side, kind of wanting to stay close. He's like, guys, what the fuck happened? I leave you alone for 10 minutes. 10 minutes you're out there talking in the sand, and then you're gonna bring a god here? Can you guys even do that?
Maybe.
We're gonna try.
Oh,
I like her optimism. I like it. I like it. We're going to go with that.
Oh, okay. And then the uncle, Jormkind, he steps up and he's like, "Oi, y'all got some balls on ya." That is one hell of a plan if I've ever heard one. You're going to bring a god here. Yeah, I think it's a bad idea. Hiccup, it's a great idea. What? How is it great? Where in any of the realms is this a good thing? By Thor's left nut, how can you say this is a good thing, Uncle? Quite easily. The two sides are at peace, aren't they? They're over there talking more about this party and how they feel betrayed than talking about the queen and her dragons. They're interested in speaking to Thonrar now, instead of just wanting to kill him outright. What have you heard from the dragons? I mean, yeah, it's kind of the same thing. They're more pissed with the party than with each other, and well, they always want to talk to him to begin with, so I guess that's good, the two sides. Okay, yeah. Okay, I see it. Hey, Hiccup. This is a good thing. Now the real question is, can you all do it? And how can we help?
interject really quick.
Mm.
Do you think we should maybe get Mordu for this conversation? He might have an insight if we are gonna have to secretly.
More do.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we'll go get
No!
Mordu.
His dad. But yeah,
No.
take it.
I didn't eat more do, but he sounds like an asshole, and
But he would love to trash talk. Like he could be like, "Yeah, my dad. What about it?"
But I think he would cause a war.
No, Jesus. He's with the
I'm just gonna say all of you are saying this out loud. So that way Hiccup is like, who's Mordu? What are you guys talking about? No, Hiccup, I don't think they're meaning Mordu. I think they're meaning Mordekavar. Am I right?
Yes.
Come on, Estrella, you were there. Feeling.
I'm gonna have an aneurysm. You've got to stop.
Hiccup, do you remember the stories of Mordekavar? I know your father would tell them to you, because our father told it to us as we were growing up. Yeah, when you say the full name, that makes sense. It's, I mean, yeah, he's not one to be trifled with, but the honest truth is, he kind of has it out for his dad. Wait! You're saying that Thaunis, that you've met his, that they're the same, that, oh, by Odin's beard. Okay. I'm going to let you in on a bit of the legend that you may not know. Mordu Kavar is he's a little bit of a trickster and has a kind of a streak in him where you don't know if he's saying the truth or not. Now, I'm not saying that you haven't actually befriended him, because there are legends of people who have had his loyalty fiercely, and there are legends or he has, ripped people apart. It could go either way, but that might be enough to get us through this. Hell, even if thing goes to shit and Morduk just happens to be crazy ass, well, I mean, we're all going to unify under the common thread of cataclysm and apocalypse, right? What could go wrong?
Didn't you give him a stone? You guys give him a.
You have to ask. It wasn't me.
Didn't one of you guys give
Never mind. Go ahead.
Mordekavar here, like sending stone or something?
Mm-hmm. I think Grim did.
Yes.
I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't know that though, right?
No.
Well. I mean, because Keladri said that she informed all of you about Mordu and all that. Yes, you'd know.
So I'll mention that he has a sending stone. We could communicate with him and maybe bring him here.
You gave him a gift. Grim, you gave him a gift, yes?
Did you just?
Yes.
This is good. This is great. The only stories where good things ever happen in dealing with Mordekavar are when someone gives him a gift. And it has to be genuine. This is great. There's a good chance he will genuinely help you then. A really, really good chance. Just don't piss him off, right? That's the only thing. I probably shouldn't be here when you talk to him. I have a tendency to piss people off. Why are you all nodding?
Oh, I didn't know everybody else nodded.
The whole party just starts to nod. I feel like it was like you just gestured to all of me. Yormkind leans in and he goes, Hiccup's right. This is a good sign. Look, what do you need the two of us to do? Each of us have the ear of the king and the queen. For the rest of the night, we can try to spin a tale to help you out. Let us know what you'd like to say, and we'll say it. Yeah, absolutely. I can talk to my mom. Whatever you want me to try and convince her of, I'll do it. Just let me know.
Can you make sure she's not mad at us?
I get that, Estrella. I do. Having her been mad at me, it's terrible. I can guarantee you that she's just a little hurt, but she'll get over it. It'll be fine. I'll smooth it over. Yeah, consider it done. So, anything else you want me to sell the queen? Anything I need to convey? How to help the plan along? All right, well, I hope you guys can figure this shit out easier than you can tell me what you want to say, because you're not filling me with a whole lot of confidence. But hey, what do I know? I'm just chief who rides a dragon. I'm good. Yeah, no big deal.
George is a very
I do need to
What?
I do need to fulfill my oath to the Crow Lord to purify the Arkenstone before all of this mess starts.
Yoram kind of looks at you and he goes,
That is a rather tall order to do. I don't think that's something you can do in a night, and also try to summon a god. Might have to be one or the other. Is there anything you all want me to say to the king to try and convince him one way or the other? Or should we just leave it be?
You can tell him that when we bring the god here, when we talk to him and find out who he really is, whether or not we find truth, we will also find out whether or not there will be a war, regardless of what we want. So be ready, but give us the time.
That I'll make sure he does. No worries, Kieran. All right, well,
wake up. Good luck with your mother. Yeah, good luck with the king.
I'll be fine. A couple drinks, he's right as rain.
All right. Well, I'll see you all in the morning. I can guarantee you that we'll be here as soon as the sun rises, so use the time wisely. All right. Good night, you anxiety-ridden bunch of fools. And Hiccup just turns and walks away, as does Yormkind, his uncle. And the party is left alone for the night. Aside from resting, which we'll assume that you all do, and after, well, no, I can't assume that. Let's, what's the plan? And that will determine whether or not Keladri and Yasin are able to get a long rest and recover that point of exhaustion.
Can I talk to Lunas and see if there's a way that she would know that we could get Faunus here?
Sure. Go ahead and roll religion.
All right. Okay. Great. That's a wait.
Huh?
That's a 15. Okay, I thought it was a 6. It was a 9. That's a 15.
Okay, 15. Is this something that you want the party to be aware of? Are you going off in private on your own? Do you want her to talk with the party? Like,
no, the party can be aware. Yasin is going to have to explain himself to my goddess. I don't know if I explain it, so I'm gonna I want to call her there in front of everyone.
Yeah. And you do. So as you kind of,
Yeah.
knock. You there, Lunas? You see the party sees in front of them, almost like a portal that appears, this kind of bright light. And from it, Lunas kind of steps into view of everyone so that you may all speak with her. And right behind her is Alexander, stepping in from his own kind of a shadowy portal. And
they're in bathrobes.
He looks at the party and he's like, "So I hear you're summoning a god here. Wow. Estrella, you have called me, yes? What can I do? What do you need?
We have a situation.
Aye, you bloody do.
Yeah. Is there any way? So we have these three instruments. We all have some abilities. Is there any way that we can go to Thanos? Could we bring him here? Can you help us?
Would you all mind if I took a look at the instruments, please?
Yes, I will dump it out in front of her.
That means.
No,
Can't touch it.
I might have
Look.
I'm asking.
Oh, you're exact.
You're talking to your goddess.
Alexander notices your expression, Grim, and he's like,
Grim, is there an issue? Alright.
It just feels like we're not on agreement on what we're doing, but I don't really care at this point.
No, you all are definitely not in agreement, but we'll see if we can figure this out.
as the instruments are laid out, you watch Alexander pick them up, and you see that it's not his hand that does it, but a shadowed claw that comes out, and he picks up each instrument and turns it over, and Lunas kind of steps down and looks, not steps down, but leans down and looks at them.
Floats down.
She floats lower to the ground, and she looks them over. Fascinating. These instruments, they are attached to him in ways more complex than anything the either of us have ever seen. But it is a thread. And if you can pull a thread one way, you can pull it the other. It is basic physics. Now here's the question of how to go about this. Alexander, could you lay them in a circle, please?
Yeah.
You watch him place them around in a, three of them in a kind of a circular-ish pattern. Could be a triangle, and all depends on your perspective at this point. And Lunas takes her finger and she draws in the sand between them to make a circle, to make it complete. In order to bring him here, there is something we could try. But it will take all night, and it might kill Caladri.
See what you've done?
Well, we still can bring more dew here. He likes them.
Okay.
He likes to kill the ladies.
Lunas floats closer to Caladri. My child, you have within you an untapped power. The portals that you can generate now are but a fraction of what could be. But the power of a crystal is not the same as the power of flesh and blood. What one can handle, the other may not. And if you push yourself too hard, it might fracture what is within you. The choice is yours, but I could help show you how. Estrella and Grim could reinforce you. This is all your choice, of course.
Who's gonna fracture?
Caladri,
Calandry.
possibly. This is magic that is celestial in nature. It is at the brink of both Alexander and my power. It might even go a step beyond.
So are we talking like a 50-50 chance, or how does this swing in my favor against me? That's what we decide on.
Alexander steps forward to answer that question. He goes,
50-50 is being generous.
Mm.
If all goes well, you will have unlocked the ability to open a portal to another realm. And in your favor, once you've done it once, you can probably do it again. If it goes wrong, well, you'll die. And your soul might be ripped asunder as it's spread between an infinite possible number of realms. You would cease to exist, Caladri. In one moment, you would no longer exist. No afterlife, no heaven, no hell, just the abyss. But if you succeed, you'll be able to walk among the gods.
Basically, he's saying, chance it.
Yeah.
Grim knows me well.
Well, I'm gonna try and look to the party to say, do we have any other ideas, or
There
if
option.
not, I can give this a shot. But
I'm gonna like
should be your choice.
pull the soul stone out of my hand to kind of expose it.
Yep.
And like be like, I was planning on using this to purify the king, but would this help to tip the scale in our favor?
Lunas holds out her hand and asks if she can hold it.
I'll kind of like extract it into her hand.
She brings it out to her and she goes, "My, your people have always had a knack for creating such powerful artifacts in such a small vessel. You are willing to do this for her."
Yes,
Then yes.
for the need of the party, more so than the need of one realm. This, I feel, extends bigger than any one realm.
This can work. This can give you better than 50-50 odds, Caladri. What Kieran is proposing is extending his power to you, his soul to ground yours. The two of you, who have been entwined since you first met, would forever be entwined after this moment. In life or in death, he will ground you in a way that just might tip the scale. Do you agree to this, Caladri?
Well, for the sake of the realms, I agree.
So like we're getting married again.
I don't think she like that.
Okay.
Does the rest of the party agree as well? It will take you all, even Yasin and Mud, to make this happen. Your strength, your souls, your power, all will be needed and all will be affected.
Even Yasin has some magic. Can you use someone with nothing?
My dear, you are more than nothing.
Alexander steps up to you.
You fought my demon form with your bare hands.
Oh, well.
I think you could be of some use here.
Then I will do what I can.
And then here's what happens according to... So does everybody agree? Or does anybody want to throw out a different option?
I think
I mean, our
other options, but I really don't care at this point. Do you?
our other option is still one or a few of us touching one of the objects and going and getting him.
Yes.
Because he's got the power to jump over, and that would not risk anybody's life potentially. We would just have to convince him.
Yeah.
I
That
am
is one of
willing
the other
also to do
options.
that.
That's an option. And also, there's more dew.
Yes.
And
that's
there's more.
another one.
And would we be able to try that option first? And if that fails, then we try option B.
That would technically be option C.
You have so many options.
I am willing to try. If I am not back by morning, you do the thing.
Okay.
It's just throwing it out there.
Were
Should
you,
half of us
you're going to go get Thonis? Have you met Thonis?
Yes.
Yes.
I was
Yeah,
part of his first.
Oh,
I was
different
part of
party.
one-
Yep, different party.
I was like,
I mean, I am the one who could probably pick him up and drag his ass here. So
yeah, you go do you.
Very con- um
A
Would-
word of caution to this plan. If Mud touches one of the instruments to go to Thonis's realm, that instrument will go with her. And we will have one less for the ritual here, thus decreasing the danger to Keladri and Kieran. And don't forget, we would lose Mud's power in the ritual as well, because she would be in the other realm.
We have 3 items.
another question.
Oh, okay.
You said these things are all connected by a thread.
Yes.
If I travel to the realm, is there a different type of ritual you guys could all do to connect those threads, thus connecting
All 3 of the
the
instruments.
realms?
Well, that's a good question. I got to roll for that. Let's see. Let's find out. Do they know?
Mud's getting smart now.
She had her dirt to dirt moment just so she could shine.
We could certainly try,
But
there are no guarantees. And one of us would have to go with you. Which means we'd have to have either Estrella or Grim accompany you on this journey.
I want the option that hurts my friends the least.
The one where we don't have to use an instrument would be the sun.
Indeed, Grim is correct. Call upon Mordu Kavar, and he has powers beyond our understanding. Young though he may seem to you, he is ancient, and the son of 2 incredibly powerful gods. He could summon the father.
Either that or give us more options at least.
We also
That's gonna
don't. we
How
don't
fast
hold
can he get here?
there.
I don't know. He has wings. We weren't that far away. We're not in a different realm.
My dear Mud, he is a god. He can be here instantly. Of that I can assure you. He is more powerful than I or Lunas.
I just have a question for the group.
Yep.
Why doesn't anybody like this guy? I mean, he's a.
I don't know.
Dick.
Like, I don't know him, so it's really up to you guys that like
I don't care. Like I
get
said,
him to
but y'all were
actually call
picturing
upon him.
picking some dangerous options. I was just given some non-dangerous options for the first time ever.
Do we flip the sails on the boat, or do we cast big magic to get us to... That's what I feel like
I
we're doing
mean,
again.
That's what I was trying to not happen again. But we do. You guys do what you want to do.
There are 3 options before you. We know where Grim stands.
Then the rest of you. Where shall we put the danger? Is it in Mordekavar or in ourselves? I cannot make this choice for you, Estrella. But have the courage to choose and trust in the outcome.
The dragons haven't screwed us over yet. So I guess we try Mordu before we risk our friends' lives.
I mean, that is a nice option.
I'm gonna try more do.
If anything goes
Lunis.
south, we can still try something.
Should we train with Lunis just in case what happens with Mordu that doesn't work out? I'm gonna ask you.
My dear, I will always be here should Estrella or any of you call upon me. That option will always remain present. Be cautious with Mordu, but I agree with Hiccup and his uncle. You have befriended him. If there's nothing else, Alexander and I will leave you. And you watch as Lunis and Alexander fade into their respective portals. And now you are left with but to call upon Mordu. Grim gave her stone of far speech to him. So anybody who has a stone may call collect and see if he answers.
I'll collect.
Who has the best relationship with him?
Well, the best relationship would definitely be the three ladies who met him, Caladria, Estrella, and Grim. So either one of you want to call out and...
I don't care, I just don't have a stone. I know Kelly was with me when we talked to him.
Yep.
Your stone, call him.
Like the first time we talked to him.
I don't remember.
Okay, yeah, say if Kieran, because I don't think I have a stone. Kieran gives me his stone, I'll call or do.
Okay. What are you gonna say?
Oh, I guess I could just...
I'm just gonna say, Mordu, we need your help if you wouldn't mind gracing us with your presence.
Popping in.
Gracing us with your presence.
Hey, Beth.
For a moment, there's nothing but silence on the other end, almost like a staticky sound. But then you hear a click, and the line goes quiet. And then behind you, you hear a tap on your shoulder, and you see Mordu smile going, "What you need?"
God.
He'll be a fun addition.